Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. The bunch of the apostles and the members of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, and confusion, and faithful follow. So I really wanted to get into the image of the beast and go through the parallels between now, us in Babylon, and way back when we were in Babylon, and how they had to worship, how they had to physically, should I say, worship the an image. So with that being said, Lord's will, this is an edifying video, and we won't go from there. You call?
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. It says that he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right,
so it said that he had power to give life into the image of the beast. And that's speaking of, the elites, mainly Esau, who has the rulership right now. He has the opportunity to force you to do what? To take his machinations, to really obey his commandments. Take the charagma to conform to his system. And if you don't conform to his system, you're going to be shut out. That's what bowing down the knee to the image of the beast is in these times. And the brother brought out a beautiful definition yesterday on the highway. Though, really want to get that again, if you could, Baba Bushai.
Ooh, I'm already in that chapter. Did he read the whole scripture here?
He wrote, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, when you go into that word killed, right? It goes it's the let's get it.
Strong's G615 apartheid.
Right. So it says to kill in any way, whatever, to destroy, to allow to perish, metaphor to extinguish, abolish, to inflict mortal death, to deprive of spiritual life. But the root word, it says of separation, of local separation after verbs of motion from a place, i.e. of departing, of fleeing.
Right, a separation. So if you're not conforming to this man's system, then you're going to be separated, okay? And that's the time that we're coming in. We're separate because we're not getting, the Vanessa. We're separate because we understand what is going on, and the Lord gave us that the eyesight to see exactly what this man has planned. We're separating ourselves from society, and they're trying to separate us from society as well, so that they know who to roll on. They'll have an idea on who is not conforming to their system, same as back then. Because back then you had to physically bow to the image, and if you didn't physically bow to the image and you were still standing, well, now you're separate.
Yeah. It also says a separation of a part from the whole, of any kind of separation of one thing from another by which the union or the fellowship of the two is destroyed. And that's why you got Micah 2:10 where it says arise ye and depart, meaning mentally. If you mentally and spiritually and even emotionally detach yourself from this world, bowing down to that image is not going to be hard. Of course, with the mercy and grace of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, of course, but you're already detached from society. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, the Lord giving us that eyesight. We have a head start on the things that are to come. So our job now is to continue to labor and prepare for those times, man. Because part of the separation could be a concentration camp. Okay. Or what do they call it?
Internment camp.
Internment camp, you know what I'm saying? To where the people who are not validated has to go there until they either get validated or they figure out what you're going to do, and hey, we know, was it John the Revelator, they put him to the salt mines. You know what I'm saying? They could do something like that. Just have you doing, you know, stuff like that or whatever, or just put you to death. You know, either way, that's the whole point of the Georgia Guidestones. You know what I'm saying? Is having that population is having the world be depopulated, so it's easier for people to comply.
Okay.
Which goes into worshiping this image and the beast, man.
Okay, so now that we understand what is expected of us today, you know, by the rulers of this world, let's go back in time and, you know, get the account to where they had to physically worship the image of the beast. And let's see how the Most High protected us in that situation.
I did want to get a precept based on what you were saying.
Go ahead.
This is Job 9:24. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?"
Right, if it's not the so-called white man, then who is running this place? Okay? It says, the earth is given into his hands. He has the rulership. He has the authority to make, you know, the masses of the people bow to his agenda.
This is in the book of Micah. It says, "Woe to him that divides iniquity upon his bed and practice it, because it's in the power of their hand." Who is that speaking of? Like the brother's talking about. He saw evil. He makes the laws here. He's a shot caller. All right, you know what I'm saying? Till the Most High comes and intervenes. You know. So right now we gotta, as it says, I was thinking about Proverbs 14:15, which says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple goeth on and are punished." So we see what's going on. All right, and like the brother's going into, we're preparing for the times to come. You know, we see the times, we see what's coming down the pipe, and we're preparing for those times.
This is Daniel chapter 3, verse 14. It says,
Before you get that, Baba Bashad, just to set the scene, we are speaking about in Babylon, you know, we were in the captivity, and Nebuchadnezzar set up I believe it was a golden statue, a golden image, set up a statue, and whenever they played the music, you were to bow down, physically bow down to this statue. And they said if, you know, and then I believe it was one of the his generals or captains or somebody who apparently didn't like the Jews. Said, hey, you know, them Jews, you know, they got their own God. They're not gonna bow down to the image when you play the music or whatnot. And it angered Nebuchadnezzar. So he's like, all right, well they do that, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna kill them pretty much. So, and you know, I advise everyone to read the chapter. It is a very it's a fire chapter. But go ahead, brother.
So this is Daniel chapter 3, verse 14. It says, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
Oh, is it true? So, y'all not gonna bow down?
Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Right.
And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands?
Right. And he's wondering, you know, how you gonna make it out of that? You're not gonna worship my God, but apparently your God is gonna deliver you from my burning fiery furnace.
What is his name and what is his son's name?
If thou canst tell.
Mm-hmm.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace.
Hey, we read yesterday about the ones who stood so stiffly for the truth. Those bold men. And that was a bold statement to make to Nebuchadnezzar. He's the emperor, the ruler of, you know, this whole kingdom. That's like the president, you know, telling us what to do, and we're saying, look, fuck you, you're spitting in their face. That's a direct spit in somebody's face. And that's, especially someone of authority.
And he would deliver us out of thine hand, O king.
And he said, look, we ain't got to serve your God. Our God's going to deliver us. You throw us out, he's going to deliver us. And that's the faith, that's the confidence that you got to have in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that if you get in a situation like that, that he is going to protect you.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
Right. And that's a parallel to these times, because we're not going to, take the validation. We're not going to take the charagma. All right? We're not going to become part of your system. And, Esau knows this. So what does he do? He sets up his red list, his blue list, and green list, so that anyone who doesn't bow down to the image of his system is going to be what? Like the scripture, you're going to be killed. You're going to be separated, and some are going to be physically killed. He said, some were beheaded for Yahweh Shai. There's going to be martyrs for Yahweh Shai. Some are going to be thrown in prison 10 days, which is just a set amount of time. We know that they are going to ride on us.
Man, there's a flood, as the scriptures say.
Time.
And when have they not? When have they not? During the time of the Greeks, man. You got Maccabees, the first chapter, that even starts it out. You got Rome, when we was in Rome, and they had us up on Masada. The Lord even told them, when the Lord was on his way to be crucified, he told the women that was weeping for him, he said, man, I got to get it, bro. I got to get it. Because that kind of hit me a little different when I read it. Let me see. This is Luke. I'm going to go to 26. Luke 23 and 26, it says, and as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross that he might bear it after Yahushua. And there followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. But Yahushua, turning unto them, said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming in the which they shall say, blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bare and the paps which never gave suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? So he was letting them know, look, there's going to be, hold y'all tears for what's coming. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you had what happened in 70 AD.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The reason why we ended up in Africa, because we had to flee the Roman persecution, man. Okay, and them ransacking the temple and things and taking that. All right. So, and being up on Masada, because what was they doing? They were starving them out. They were starving them out, man. All right. So when have they not rolled in on us? They had the opportunity to take us from Africa and bring us over here, and they did what? Put us in hardcore slavery, man. Hardcore bondage. All right? It's not like we was just working in the fields for them. No. They made sure they got their lick back, man. All right? So when have they not rolled on us, and what makes the difference now? They just come more cunningly now. Yeah. All right? Hey, we need to get these Africans and the Negroes and the natives and the Latins, man, the minorities, we need to get them vaccinated first. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden, you on our side now? You for us? Nah, man.
And I don't think Jake really understand, what slavery truly is, or have a concept of slavery. It's always been slaves. Since the beginning of time. It's always been a ruling class and a working class. All right? And I don't know if they think that the world has been domesticated so much to the point that slavery can't come back. Because that's exactly what this man is trying to do with the Karagma, with the depopulation. You think they're going to break the population down to 500 million worldwide and then still have to go to work? No. A good portion of that 500 million is going to be the people who are serving. Well, I'm not going to say it's going to be. That's what their plan is, because the Most High is going to intervene. But they plan on having the people who do survive this depopulation to be slaves. If you're not part of that 1%, then you're not going to get into the 1%. That's the separation. But go ahead. You had something?
Yeah, I had a couple of seconds. It's this old brother was saying earlier. It's Hebrews 13 and verse 6. It says, "So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me." You know, because it's coming to a time where we're going to need protection from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But reading right before that, it's saying to pretty much have your conversation right. You know, and then it leads into, that's how we are able to boldly say, the Lord gonna take care of it. You know what I'm saying? When times get like, when the Lord gonna take care of us, man. You know, just as somebody, he gonna take care of us away. That was into that. No, I'm hold on to this one. So that was into that, bro.
Okay.
Hebrews 13:6.
This is back in Daniel chapter 3. And it's verse 19. It says, "Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated."
Right. Turn it up 7 times hotter. You know, that's you a devil. I mean, because regular fire is gonna burn you. You know, but he wanted it 7 times hotter, just so you can, you know, go through extra pain. Really.
It says that he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Right. So the people who put them in the furnace, they died. That's how hot it was. So, but Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, they still got thrown into the furnace. So what does that tell you? That the Lord was with them the whole time. Because in order for someone to cast you in there, and then for them to die right there, y'all was at the same point. You know what I mean? Y'all were at the same area. So the Lord had to be, His Spirit had to be resting upon them before they got thrown into the furnace. And we're going to see while they're in the furnace. Go ahead.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, "Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?" They answered and said unto the king, "True, O king." He answered and said, "Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire."
Right. He said, I see 4, they bound them and put them in the fire, all 3 of them. He said, now I see 4. Who was that 4th? You know who that 4th is?
That's what it said right here.
Go ahead.
It says, he answered and said, "Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High."
Yahweh Shai. Alright. So the bindings that they put on them apparently got burnt up. Why? Because it's a 7 times hotter fire than what it was supposed to be. But they said that they were loose and walking in the furnace, in the fire. Because they were protected, as they told Nebuchadnezzar that they would be. That's why he's tripping out right now. Alright? And that's going to be the strangeness of our salvation. When you read Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, it speaks about how Esau is going to look at us like in amazement, like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? And that's how Nebuchadnezzar is looking at them like, whoa, what? Huh? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't scientifically or carnally make sense that you can get thrown in a fire and survive it. It doesn't carnally or scientifically, according to Esau's knowledge, make sense how we're going to get saved out of this place. But it's all through the Spirit. It's all through the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's why it's going to come to pass. That's why it makes sense.
It says, then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Yahweh, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their heads singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then
I believe in the Songs of the Holy Three Children, it said that it was like does it say in here? It speaks about like it was like as if it were a wind that was going around and not a fire.
kind of, yeah, and when they explained that right there, it sounded like, it sounded like some type of force field was around them or something, because they didn't even have the smell of fire on them.
Right.
So it's like,
Oh, shield.
hey,
It's a spiritual fireproof blanket, bro. Like,
it's crazy, bro. Like,
and we read this and we gotta know that this is real, you know what I'm saying? You gotta believe that this can happen to you when you get in situations. It was about faith. That's why they said we not even thinking carefully when we answer this question, but they trusted in Yahweh Shem Yahushai to deliver them out that situation. And if he didn't, he didn't. They was content with not even getting delivered. But they wasn't going to fold to the serving of the image, man. And the same is nowadays. We can't, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, we got to trust in the Lord that he's going to deliver us out of these situations. And if not, then at least don't fold. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that mentality like the seven brothers, man. Because all of them mentioned like, yeah, you about to mess us up, but when we come back, it's going to be better when we come back than folding and dying. Either way, we got to go see the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You about to, either way, either we die now or we fold to your eating that pork. It was eating the pork, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Maccabees. Yeah. Either, not that one. The seven brothers. Either we fold and eat the pork and die later and have to deal with the Lord, or we stand up for the Lord and die now. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you got to see the Lord about it. And you don't want to, yeah, Lord, I had to, man. I ain't want to die, man. Nah, you got to really trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's why we go through these smaller tests, man, to build you up,
I had a quick reset. Psalm chapter 34 and verse 6, it says, this poor man cried, and the Lord Yahweh heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord Yahweh encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So that's the same exact situation that happened with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were protected from that fiery flame,
so it says back in Daniel 3, in verse 28, it says, Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the Most High of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any power except their own power.
Right, because it's a miracle. At this point, it's a miracle. I put you in there to kill you and to burn you up to bits and pieces and just ashes, and here you are in front of me. I've seen you in the fire, and you're not burnt. You don't even smell like smoke. Hey, your power is that dude. Go ahead.
it says, "Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort."
Right. This gold statue wouldn't have saved nobody out there. You know, Baal wouldn't have saved nobody. Molech wouldn't have saved nobody. You know. But their power literally saved them from hell. from the fire. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon."
Kind of. Then, you know, because they were bold and because they did go through what they went through, they were promoted. And because we're bold and we are going to go through Jacob's trouble, you know, the Most High is going to then what? He's going to promote his elect to govern the world afterwards.
If it's the Lord's will for us to, endure to the end.
Kind. Can we read the Proverbs real quick?
This is Proverbs, what was that?
18
and 10. Got you. All right. This is Proverbs 18, verse 10. It says, "The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe."
Hey, that's what they did. That's what the three holy children did. All right, they claimed and sat on the name of the Lord, man. They gave their cause. They said, hey, the Most High is going to protect us, and He did that. He was that strong tower, literally a strong tower around them, and they didn't feel that furnace. All right, so we're not going to get this other precept. Anybody else had anything to say? Any last precepts? Any last words?
Nah, that was it.
All right. So with that being said, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and of the GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are there in the truth and sincerity, the women, the children, the confusion, the faithful follow. Shalom.
Shalom.